More inside perspective on this morning's developments from the Capitol. Let's check in with State Treasurer Dean Martin. Mr. Martin, thanks for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me on.
We are getting a lot of phone calls, as Nicole just mentioned in her live shot there from the Capitol. We're getting a lot of phone calls coming into our newsroom from state employees about what they should do today. What should they report to work, and will they get paid for their work today? Will they?
It looks like right now they will. The legislature did pass a budget. They passed all the pieces the governor wanted, with the exception of the tax increase. The question is what does the governor do with it? And the indications we're getting is she intends to do a lot of line item vetoes, but the vast majority of state government will continue to operate. So everyone should report in, but knowing that some people, depending on what the governor does with the budget, some people may have to go back home if the governor line items out that particular piece. But it looks like a major catastrophe may be averted in this, but the final say is the governor's, and she hasn't made her vetoes known yet.
Here's what else we found out this morning, that in the current plan right now, there is no flat tax. There was talk of a flat tax taking effect in 2012. So no flat tax. There's no sales tax increase that the governor wanted. So my question to you would be this: how does the state plug a $3 to $4 billion hole if we're not raising taxes at least a little bit?
Well, both of those measures were for future fiscal years. So 2011, 2012 were those changes. The 2010 budget, which they passed, did not have those issues in them. In other words, the 2010 budget can stand on its own, and those issues can be dealt with at a later date. So that's why we think she can line it and veto the stuff she doesn't like, but still keep most of state government operational. And I don't, she could always veto everything and shut everything down, but I really don't think, we're not getting indications that she intends to do that.
So am I hearing you correctly that to plug that hole, again, it's between $3 and $4 billion, that you're saying it'll be done with all cuts and no tax increases?
It's not going to be done in 1 year. They've plugged a lot of that hole with borrowing from dollars, bringing other funds in, and stimulus. So it's not all been done with cuts. Unfortunately, though, a lot of the excess cash or extra cash that the state could pull in is being used this year. So 2010 is going to have a very big, or 2011 will have a very big hole. So we can get through this year, but 2011 is the one that they still have to figure out now.
What's the condition of our state bank accounts right now, cash reserves and whatnot? What do those accounts look like?
We have enough cash to make the school payment. The schools have been waiting 3 months for payments. We've got that amount of money. We've got enough money to probably get us through July, but we're going to start borrowing shortly thereafter. And we're going to be borrowing, could be as much as $1 billion or even $2 billion to get through this year, just because of the nature of the hole that they have in the budget. And
that could start at the end of this month. You're talking about the current month. This is obviously the first day of July, but you're talking about the end of this month. That's when the borrowing starts.
Well, it depends on when the federal government releases some stimulus money. If they release the stimulus money this month, we're okay. We can probably go as late as September before we start borrowing. If they don't release the stimulus money, we may be borrowing by the end of this month.
State Treasurer Dean Martin, we appreciate you calling in this morning. Mr. Martin, thank you very much.